So I was born in Barra.
Barra.
I stay in Pimville Zone 4. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We stay in Pimville Zone 4. That's actually my grandmother's home. Like that's home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my mom's side of the family stays.
Okay.
But now that my grandma's not around, like she passed on, so I don't go as often because it doesn't feel like home like before. But I still go as often as I can. Let them know that I am born in Soweto and then I just reside in Cape Town.
Well, for clarity, how are you a South African?
I was born in South Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, to Nigerian parents?
Yes.
Okay.
And I remind everyone that I was born in South Africa.
Hello everyone, Ganuchi Sanok and welcome to my channel. So last week, Wednesday, Miss Universe Nigeria 2024 Chidima Adetshina made an appearance in Cape Town Regional Court to hear her judgment regarding her detention and deportation. Chidima is facing deportation because Home Affairs is accusing her of returning to South Africa illegally via the Mozambican border after she was declared a prohibited person following her fraudulent statement during her application to return to South Africa. Chidima's South African documents were revoked in 2024, with Home Affairs accusing Chidima's mother of obtaining her own South African documents fraudulently, including Chidima's South African birth certificate, making it look like she was born here. Now, before leaving the court last week, Chidima spoke publicly for the first time since her deportation case began, saying she believes she's being unfairly targeted and that there has been an attempt to make an example out of her. She reminded us that she was born in South Africa and urged the public not to allow xenophobia and misinformation to determine how people are going to be treated. Now, naturally, people expressed their opinion upon seeing Chidima's speech on social media. One person said, "I feel sad for the person whose identity was stolen. Never once did she mention what she must be going through." On the very same day of making the speech, Chidima responded saying there wasn't anyone to start with. Another person commented, "The person who lost her identity must sue these thieves." Again, Chidima responded saying, "If she exists." So right after giving a speech about having an opportunity to have faith in our courts and that South Africa is governed by the rule of law, Chidima goes to vehemently deny the existence of a victim of identity theft. If she has so much faith in our courts and strongly believes that South Africa is governed or should be governed by the rule of law, why is she giving a public statement and commenting on social media about a case that is before the courts? Come to think of it, dating back as far as 2024, there have been Nigerians commenting that the identity fraud victim doesn't even exist. I was wondering where they're getting that information from. Kanti, it's Chidima. That's how she ended up swaying perceptions, garnering sympathy, and ended up winning Miss Universe Nigeria and Miss Universe Africa, only to abandon her duties as Miss Universe Nigeria, returning to South Africa illegally. Anyway, let's leave deceitful, patronizing Chidima for a minute and revisit what Home Affairs said to Parliament in 2024 about the victim. So, Home Affairs identified a lady who applied for her ID in Pretoria in 1995. When she returned to collect it, she discovered that it had been issued in Johannesburg, where she had never applied. Then fast forward to 2001, when she gave birth and went to register her own child, Home Affairs told her that her child had already been registered under her ID number. That child was none other than Chidima Vanessa Adetshina. Meanwhile, the South African lady spent months trying to obtain a birth certificate for her own child before Home Affairs eventually issued her a new ID number. You've guessed it, Chidima Vanessa Adetshina ended up getting away with the original ID number that belonged to the South African child. And it's not just the victims that Home Affairs revealed. Home Affairs told Parliament that it had identified 3 officials who were involved in registering Chidima's birth in Johannesburg. One of those officials had died, while the other 2 were under investigation for their alleged involvement in the fraudulent scheme. So there is a documented victim. There is a documented identity number that was allegedly used to register Chidima's birth, and there were Home Affairs officials identified as having been involved in registering that birth. Home Affairs itself said the innocent South African mother suffered because she could not register her own child. However, Chidima says there is no such victim and that she was born in South Africa. Here's a clip of Chidima from 2024 or so declaring that she was born in Pimville, Soweto, and her mother is South African with Mozambican roots.
So I was born in Barra.
Barra.
I stay in Pimville Zone 4. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We stay in Pimville Zone 4. That's actually my grandmother's home. Like that's home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my mom's side of the family stays. And My mom and dad met in Johannesburg because my mom was also staying in Johannesburg at that time as well. They met in Johannesburg and then they got married. And then my dad moved to Cape Town and he wanted to stay in Cape Town. So after I was born, I think I only stayed in Soweto for like a few months because he didn't want us to stay there anymore. And then we came to Cape Town and we've basically lived in Cape Town all our lives. But I always go visit home like every holiday.
Okay.
But now that my grandma's not around, like she passed on, so I don't go as often because it doesn't feel like home like before. But I still go as often as I can. Let them know that I am born in Soweto and then I just reside in Cape Town. And then secondly, my dad is Nigerian, proudly Nigerian. My mom is South African, and yes, she does have her own Mozambican roots, but she was born here. Her mom is here, her dad, everyone. But yes, but it's, you have like someone and someone comes from. So she does have those roots, and she also celebrates it very proudly as well. Because really, I just feel like it's just, to be honest, from my side, I think it's just more on black hate.
Look, it's bad enough that Chidima Adetshina came back to South Africa illegally and is now challenging Home Affairs conclusions about her citizenship in High Court. But to actually go on social media to deny that there's even a victim is something else, because she's the one that took Home Affairs to court. Home Affairs has been tight-lipped about this whole thing because the matter is in court. Chidima is not satisfied with what Home Affairs uncovered in their investigation, so she must allow the court that she took Home Affairs to decide. There's absolutely no legitimate reason for Chidima to suddenly address mainstream media and comment about the issue on social media when it's still before court, except to sway perceptions and gather social sympathy because the matter is difficult to prove in court. She's just trying to push the xenophobia narrative and bury a deeply concerning issue for us as South Africans of identity theft. By the way, here's a practical, painful example of what happens to the victim after a Home Affairs official duplicates or forges an identity for a foreign national, like those corrupt Home Affairs officials allegedly did for Chidima and her mother back then.
Hard at work, pushing through his final year of high school. It's the first part of Lawrence Phakati's journey towards becoming a climatologist. But his dream of sitting for his matric exams might not be realized. Someone else is using his ID number, meaning he cannot register for his important final high school exams.
If I do anything currently, any future plans that I have that concern that will also concern the other person. So whatever benefits I get, the person will also get. I'm kind of a little bit worried about both of those.
I cannot complete and sign that form using my son's identity number, because that is like messing up his life further. As time is running out for my son, I need to complete, sign and send it back to school, and the school will send it to the Department of Education.
Identity theft is a serious problem faced by thousands of South Africans. It's a nightmare this family has been going through since January. All they want now is a new identity number for the teenager so he can move on with his life.
I need a solution like now, and I need an explanation, and I need an apology, and I'm not going to push them. If they want me to push them, I'll push them.
Despite numerous requests for comment, the Home Affairs Department is yet to do so. Instead, the spokesperson has accused ENCA of having an agenda against the ANC by running negative stories about the department. But what's really at the heart of this matter is a young man whose future hangs in the balance, as he tries to make sense of a burden placed on him by unknown individuals who snuck in and stole his identity.
So we started applying for university 2024, April, I believe. It was just after I received my first report for term 1, grade 12. So when we were applying, we started to put my results in my ID. So I applied using my grade 11 marks. So when we put the information into the system, it pre-populated someone else's results from 2023. And we were surprised because we were like, these aren't my results, but it was someone else's. So with those person's results being there, we couldn't go further with the application process because the system was telling us you already matriculated in 2023.
And obviously this has been a very daunting time for you. Have you been able to speak to someone, your friends, anyone?
I have spoken to one close friend, but I've mostly kept it hush-hush. It's not something like you speak openly about. My parents know, and my close relatives, that's about it.
Yeah. Why do you feel that it has to be hush-hush?
I just feel like it's not something I feel necessarily proud of sharing, you know. The society we live in, succeeding is such a big thing, and I feel like failure isn't something it's recognized, but it's not something that people applaud, like, yes, failure. It's always success. So it's not something I feel comfortable like openly sharing that I'm struggling. Struggling isn't good. Our society encourages passing, success, yeah.
And obviously I'd imagine you also want to pass this year.
Yes, I really do.
All right. If you had a chance to speak to officials out there, what would you say?
I would say that, how do I put this? I feel like we need to be more inclined to like check our systems. Like, I don't understand how taking someone else's identity has become so normalized. Like, someone else cannot continue with their future because someone else has stolen their identity. I'd also encourage people to have more sympathy towards these type of situations, because everyone always sees stuff like this. My story, it's always just a story, you know. It's always like, this would never happen to me, until it actually happens to you and it hits you and it's like, oh, my life has become a story essentially. And everyone always looks at stuff like this like it could never be me, but it could actually be you. And I would encourage people to have more sympathy towards situations like this. Yeah.
Since 2018, sigijimela ID iphumela ejilistin. Ama-manager home affairs onke ayagula. Bayithiwa kusithi ngokantona asebenza hayi abasebenzi.
Ngicela ngenini ukuba ukuthi khona afuna ngisho. Ngicela nizweni nonke.
Kusavela omunye ubaba athi uyasiza. Kwavela omunye usisi akhuluma ngefoni athi imanager ithi no comment.
Okay, ubani osho njalo uthanda comment? Akakhetha manager phone manje.
Ila wacala khona ukuthi umdlalo oseke wakwata kakhulu because lo babe kade yasinceda.
Ubizutshela abantu ukuthi abazakhomenta. Uthi behave ukusonyathi. Uthi behave ukusonyathi. No comment. No comment. This is telling people not to comment.
Bekubonakala nje ukuthi bokunobutsotsi obukhulu obenzekayo.
I don't care what you guys are doing. How can people's ideas be complicated if everything is coming out here? From the system here. That manager where I can't down to start no comment. From the no comment. That boss are for the manage. Now much is for them. Tell us for the manage. Tell them for the manage and call whoever. Minister, this is what your staff are doing right now. It's not even 10 a.m. Your manager is sick, acting manager is sick, supervisor is sick. Somebody else who do what now is sick. Who is working here? Your counters are going all the way to counter 16 or 18. Look at how many desks are open right now. Everybody's just walking around like it's leisurely, and yet we're paying them. How do we sort this thing out? I need the minister, but all I'm saying right now is there is a situation. How many other IDs have come out here? Right now we've got a situation where over 800,000 IDs that duplicate you. And yet they're happening in my home affairs. When you walk in, people are telling you no comments. Sort this thing out.
What are you doing about this?
That's what I'm about to tell you. That's what I'm about to tell you. Right now, I'm about to tell you what we're here for. Okay. Do you want to hear it, or do you want me to set up an appointment?
No, I would prefer you to set up an appointment. We don't have a problem with the media, but you need to engage with us via an appointment system. As you can see, we are very, very busy with service delivery.
Alrighty, let me just sort this thing out quickly. Two things can happen right now. We can do it your way, or you can do it to listen to the people here. So if we do it your way, and I will air this episode, and once I air this episode, the people of South Africa will see the type of treatment that South Africans get at Home Affairs. You can decide.
No, we don't have a problem.
Right now, then you don't have a problem, then you have nothing to hide. So you listen to these people. They've been running up and down for 5 years. Do you want to listen to them right now, or you still want an appointment?
No, I'm prepared to listen to
So here we go then.
I don't need
This young man right now, you will get the media then, because they've been running up and down at Home Affairs for the past 5 years, and nothing has happened. Oh, please bring it. I am going nowhere. If I leave, they leave, and by the time your security touches any one of my members, they will know me. They're not going anywhere without me.
It's why you can accompany them.
And where I go, my team goes.
Can we arrange an office?
Then do it. Thank you for phone back. Madala, ubaba lana ule head office. Wena kumuntu wena yomikhulunywa yazwakala. Uthi ucela sinikeze insukunyana sizwazi ukuhlangana naye. Uma sezohlangana nathi uzosinikeza isolution yokuthi wenzani. Nokuthi le ndaba yenziwe kanjani. But I'm just saying, if your investigation shows somebody broke the law internally, the legal recourse will happen.
We have our counter-corruption division. In the corruption, we submit it to them. They will do the processes of the counter-corruption.